My challenge today is to take two of the world's greatest cuisine, Chinese and Italian, which happen to be my own heritage. Just saying.
Flavor's great.
Mash them up and create something nobody has seen before.
So far, we're on to something.
Woo! Basically, we're shipping two recipes that may or may not go well together.
This will either be awesome or a disaster.
Will it be an abomination or the newest food craze?
We just made something nuts. This is chow chow. You know, like chow and then chow. I feel like it works. So on this side, we have all the ingredients for a classic Chinese vegetable fried rice. And on this half, all the ingredients for a vegetable Italian risotto. With this mashup, there's really two ways we can go about it. The first being basically like a typical Chinese fried rice with the flavor profile of everything we've got here. But instead, we're gonna lean in more on the technique of the classic risotto with the flavors of a Chinese fried rice. They're both vegetable heavy. Let's just lean in on that. We'll use the carrots, use the peas, onion, asparagus, and garlic. We'll sweat it with the olive oil. Next is the rice. If we just did the day-old rice, we're pretty much just making a fried rice here. We'll cook down, toast the arborio rice, deglaze with white wine, keep it Italian there, and then we're basically gonna create a Chinese vegetable broth. So we'll heat up the regular vegetable stock, but we're gonna incorporate the oyster sauce, the sesame oil, a little bit of soy sauce, and really see what we can create, and then how that will affect the rice too in the cooking. And then we can top it with sesame oil, maybe see how Parmesan plays in, and yeah, I feel pretty confident about this mashup. The only thing is really making sure the broth we make with this combination comes out great, because that's really what's gonna flavor the rice. Let's get after it. First step for our Chinese risotto is to get the stock warm and ready to go. All right, we'll start with some soy, oyster sauce. So everything we're adding right now is pretty damn salty. So just keep that in mind when we go into cooking to really limit the amount of salt we're adding. Let's whisk. That's nice, that has a little funk. We're gonna let that heat and prep everything else. So, onion is a no-brainer. Make a mess, that's fine. Carrot. And for this, I'm actually not going for a typical like sofrito method. You actually wanna see the bright colors, bigger chunks of veggies. Boom. Definitely not traditional for risotto, but garlic, absolutely a must for fried rice. Asparagus. I like to see the chunks. Have our peas as well. Now we can shift on over to the pots. We're gonna start with all the veggies that we prepped, except for the asparagus. So the asparagus cooks very fast. We'll add that closer towards the end. So if we were making fried rice, we'd be doing the same thing. We're sweating the veggies. You don't really want the raw taste of vegetables in your risotto. Wow, that's cool. Wow! We're gonna go in with about 1 cup of rice. This doesn't look like a lot, but it will expand as we cook and add liquid to it. Toasting the rice beforehand too will give it a better chew. It's not just gonna be mushy rice all throughout. I feel like you do the exact same step in Chinese fried rice. You're just calling it fried instead of toasting, so there's definitely some sort of correlation there. And now we're gonna deglaze the whole pan. That was a lot of good glugs, like maybe 3 or 4. Let the wine evaporate and then slowly ladle in our stock. There's a lot of stand and stir. Slowly but surely we'll reach the consistency we're looking for. You have to stay here at all times stirring, because it'll tell you when you need to add more. This is screaming, I'm thirsty. Please give me more liquid. We're maybe halfway through, a little bit more through the cooking process. Just added another ladle of stock. So now is a good time to introduce the asparagus. So that's what's great about this dish, is you can really mix and match. All right, so this is still has a while to cook. Constantly stirring. You cannot have fried rice without scrambled eggs. We're getting somewhere here. All right, this is pretty much done. I'm gonna go in with our scrambled eggs. It looks like fried rice to me. Just like a more wet fried rice. Creamy, beautiful. Now what you do, before we cover it, the trick is a little knob of butter. I need to find the cover for this. I hope this fits. No. And you're just gonna let this sit for 2 minutes. The rice looks cooked to me. All that's left to do is to plate this bad boy. And now, I don't know what this technique is called, but it is a technique. Ooh, yeah. To garnish, it feels really wrong to put Parmesan on this, and I don't think it really would work well. We'll just do a little bit of sesame seeds. Visually, if I was served this with no context, I'd be like, well, what the hell did you do to my fried rice? Bad rice. Visually, it has all the components. You can tell it has the texture of a risotto, but not knowing what the combination is, you would think that they just added way too much liquid and kind of just ruined it. But knowing the premise of this show and what we were trying to accomplish here, I'm pretty stoked to try this. Honestly, I'm just really proud that I nailed the risotto element. The rice is cooked perfectly, super creamy. Flavor-wise, it's great. It's missing something to make it more Chinese, but in terms of a dish, this is great. I would definitely eat this again, so it's a win. It's a win for me. Let me get another bite, it's pretty good.